brother was shot in the club in the Pulse in Orlando, and he's still in the bathroom when he's bleeding. He got shot.
I love you. I love you. It's going to be fine. Can you hide somewhere? Can you play dead?
I don't want this just to be something that people forget. This is something that people need to look at and realize that there is a serious issue in this country that we all need to face.
Holy.
Oh my God!
What do you think makes a person want to go shoot up a school?
Well, that's a loaded question. You know, we can't, I can't answer something like that. Obviously, I'm not professionally qualified to, but, you know, if I had to guess, I'd say that someone would shoot up a school because they are either very mentally ill, they may have been under a lot of emotional distress from bullying, and we know that there's a lot of that in our schools now. So, and obviously there's video games. Video games tend to be very violent nowadays, and our kids are exposed to them from a very young age. So it's clear that these things take a toll on our kids.
Okay.
You know your Second Amendment rights?
No.
No?
While certain Americans may not be aware of the Second Amendment, many Americans are, and will fight to keep their arms, mostly by appealing to individual protection.
Could come in a matter of minutes.
Teenage girls are trafficked in sex trade.
Today's America is plagued by urban riots and domestic ISIS sympathizers.
In a natural disaster, you may call 911 and there may be nobody on the other line.
The drug cartels and the human traffickers who have invaded our borders and embedded in every single American city.
This threat is real. Our leaders are either incapable of or unwilling to protect you. And the AR-15 is one of the most effective tools available to protect yourself and your family.
Advocacy groups like the NRA, National Rifle Association, are fighting to keep their bear arms, and legislators advocate not to change the Second Amendment.
That's why the people on this side of the aisle hold the Second Amendment in such high esteem, because we honestly believe that you have an inherent right to defend yourself. And your ability to defend yourself should not be excluded to your size. Firearms provide someone that is weaker and not as fast the ability to actually defend themselves from a stronger attacker.
Individual protection is strong rhetoric, and with the recent event in Florida, many legislators face conflict when negotiations take place.
But we will get 60 votes on a bill that looks like the Manchin-Toomey compromise on background checks. Mr. President, if you support it.
The best way to prevent these is to stop it before it even starts. That doesn't mean we shouldn't harden schools. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have a debate on some other issues. But the best thing that could happen is know who these people are and get on them and get them the services they need and deny them the right to buy any gun.
Guns may not be the only factor. The background process may need rework, and a debate on mental health in America is mentioned frequently by certain legislators and certain Americans.
Yeah. What do you think made that person want to go shoot up a school?
He just wanted to. And there's a lot of reports saying like, oh, he has mental issues he can't control or whatever. It's not because of mental issues. I mean, that may have an effect on it. But, I mean, you can't blame everything on mental illness.
Yeah.
He wanted to do it because he wanted to do it. If he didn't want to do it, then he didn't have to. But he did, and in doing that, he killed 17 people.
Whatever the argument may be, certain people are questioning the definition of protection and the use of guns.
Don't take it away from me, but don't give me this other bullshit. The main one is, I need it for protection. I need to protect me, I need to protect my family. Really? Is that why they're called assault rifles? Is it? Never heard of these fucking protection rifles you speak of?
For the school 24 hours a day. There has been one tweet that I would like to call attention to. So many signs that the Florida shooter was mentally disturbed, even expelled for bad and erratic behavior. Neighbors and classmates knew he was a big problem, must always report such instances to authorities again and again. We did, time and time again. Since he was in middle school, it was no surprise to anyone who knew him to hear that he was the shooter. Those talking about how we should have not ostracized him, you didn't know this kid. Okay, we did. We know that they're claiming that there are mental health issues, and I am not a psychologist, but we need to pay attention to the fact that this isn't just a mental health issue. He wouldn't have harmed that many students with a knife.
Some gun control acts from the past have provided some evidence that tighter gun laws could make a difference. This can be seen with the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act of 1993. This act came into place after the press secretary to President Ronald Reagan nearly died in an assassination attempt of the president. This act required a 5-day waiting period of all handgun sales, while background checks were also made. Before this act was replaced by the National Instant Check System, it was already noted that within the first 3 years of the Brady Act, the FBI reported a significant decline in homicides, robberies, and assaults involving guns. By 2013, the Brady Campaign to Stop Gun Violence reported that the Brady Act had prevented the sale of over 2 million firearms to ineligible people. Another major gun control act took place under President George H.W. Bush's administration in 1989, when there was a ban put on importing assault rifles. It took a step further in 1994 when the ban was put on the manufacture and sale of specific models of assault weapons. However, the ban expired in 2004, and the low use of assault weapons before the ban, combined with unreliable police reporting, made it difficult to determine whether the ban was effective or not.